Today, this episode or segment, we're going to talk about the upcoming events with the Moose Jaw District Sports Hall of Fame. And of course, President Larry Graham is with us to update us on a lot of things that finally we're getting to have in a ceremony. And we're going to have some new members, and we're going to talk about how we're going to get everybody involved and acknowledged properly. So, Larry, welcome to the show.
Hey, Lyle, thanks very much for having us again this year.
Yeah.
It's been a while.
Yeah, I like the backdrop you have there. That's very nice. So.
Got to use the logo, man.
One of the perks of being president.
Exactly.
Yeah. So we have coming up a press release to announce the new members, and of course, the new members being inducted. There's going to be 3 this year, but because we haven't had them for a couple of years, there's actually going to be 13 people inducted on this evening. So tell us a bit about that, Larry.
That's right. We're the pandemic, as everybody knows, kind of threw a wrench into all the public events and being able to meet. So our board made a decision early on in 2020 that we'd still name some inductees. So we have 6 inductees from 2020. Made the same decision in 2021. We have 4 inductees from that year and 3 inductees in 2022. And they're all going to be combined into one big induction ceremony this October 1st at the Moose Jaw Event Center. So it's relatively the same, just bigger. So it's going to be fun.
And bigger is an important thing because, of course, it was always held on the 3 rooms in the former Mosaic Place. And it was pretty full every year because we had very good response to it. And so this year, because there's so many people being inducted, we've had to do a small shift in location, not building-wise, but space-wise.
Right. We're still doing it at the Moose Jaw Event Center, still the home of the wall. But this year we're moving down to the curling facility. So the good folks at the Moose Jaw Event Center have set it up for us, and we're going to configure it whether we have 400 people or we have 600 people. It's going to be fun. Good chance for old friends to meet up and tell some stories.
Yeah, and it's one of the premier events for sporting people in Moose Jaw during the course of a winter or spring. And you get together with friends, but you get to see some of these legends in our community and people everybody knows maybe as a personal friend, but they don't realize how significant the contributions they've made to our city.
Well, for sure, Lyle. I think the neat thing about the event is that people come to see the inductees, but then they see across the room, they see, an old teammate they had, or old coach that they had, or somebody else that they knew, and it's just a really nice event to get to see old friends and to find out about the inductees. Like they're all names that we've heard and we know, but we don't know the detail and the depth and the breadth that some of these folks have done in their athletic endeavors in Moose Jaw and kind of the impact they've had on so many people in the community. So it's cool. It's cool to hear about somebody that you know, but didn't really know all the stuff that they were involved in. So that's the neat part too.
Yeah. And so let's just talk about when is it going to take place.
The event is going to be October 1st, Saturday, October 1st at the Moose Jaw Event Center. That's about the time frame. We're a little bit earlier than normal this year. Hopefully, we get some of those snowbirds before they get into traveling again and be able to come and meet some friends. So we're, I guess, right now we're about a little more than 5-6 weeks out from the event. So get your tickets. I should mention that tickets are $60 a piece this year. We raised the price a little bit from our traditional $50, but still a great deal. You're going to have a great meal, meet some friends, and hear some great stories. And you can get them on sasktix.ca. So that's SASKTIX.ca, a new website with the Moose Jaw Event Center folks. And they've certainly treated us well.
And tickets are available. There's actually been some sold already.
There have been. I was sitting on my back deck enjoying the sun yesterday and took 3 calls about tickets yesterday. So don't wait. Go grab them and get some friends and come have a good time.
Yeah, because that's one of the things that we found that team members or club members want to get together. And I know we had a couple of teams. We had a hockey team was inducted, and there was like 25 guys on the team, and I think 22 or something of the team showed up
Yeah.
for the ceremony.
Yeah.
It was just, and they just had a really, really good time.
Yeah, some of the guys, and even when we've inducted individuals, be it athletes or administrators, some of their buddies have kind of got together behind the scenes and said, "Hey, you know what? Let's have a little mini reunion at the Moose Jaw District Sports induction banquet,"
Yeah.
and that's been pretty cool because sometimes people know their friends are coming, sometimes they don't, and it's a pretty cool thing.
Well, let's just talk briefly here about who's getting put in. Well, the first one, there's 6 members from 2020 that were announced, but never got to have the joy of it. So I'll let you run with that.
6 members from 2020, just to get my cheat sheet so I don't miss anyone. 6 members from 2020 are going to be Darcy Buzzy, a local guy, volleyball player. John Hunter in the builder category for hockey and baseball. John, very involved in both those sports. Charlie Meacher, another builder from baseball, really involved down at Roswell's Park and in baseball for a long time. Dave Pyle, of course, everybody knows Pyle's gym. Dave was instrumental in quite a number of young lives back in the day. And those guys are still giving back today. Marg Curry, Siobhan, a athlete in basketball. Marg played at U of S, then wanted to play for the Canadian national baseball team or basketball team. And Eddie Staniowski, an athlete and goaltender in hockey, played in the National Hockey League.
Yeah, it seems to be a year for goaltenders that year because John Hunter, I found out as we were doing our research, came to the Moose Jaw Canucks as a goaltending prospect in the 1950s, and he's been here since. So he came in from town, in from the country.
I think we'll hear that theme a couple times in the next little bit here. Yeah.
Yeah, and so he had, of course, he had a lot to do with the development of Eddie and so. And Marg Curry, I never heard of her. She was about 3 or 4 years ahead of me in high school. She was a Central grad and just a super player.
Oh, an incredible player. I think she lettered in. Oh, I don't have my notes in front of me, but lettered in at least 2 sports at U of S, which is unreal.
Yeah. And that's an American tradition. Lettering means, of course, that you are an outstanding, above average player, and you earned your letter for that thing. So yeah, that's something. Of course, but we have 6 the first year.
Yeah.
And the next year, 2021, we have 4 members.
We have 4 members.
And
so members in 2021 that we're going to induct are Frank Abdu, a builder an athlete and builder in the wrestling category. Lori Boyle, of course, everybody knows Lori from her senior golf exploits, champion for many, many years. And Levi Steinhauer, an athlete, local football guy, played at U of S, and of course plays for our beloved Rough Riders. I don't have a Rider shirt on today, but I do every other day of the year.
I do.
And the 1992 Amber Holland curling team that won silver at the World Championships. So that's going to be pretty neat.
Yeah, and Levi, just people say, well, he's a young man. He's a young man, but he played his rookie of the year for the Riders when he played, and he also was he played so hard his body just gave up on him. I remember one thing happened. He was on a special teams, as Canadians often are on the Riders team, and he was tackling. The kickoff was to them. He tackled this guy, but he got hit. He put out his arm to stop the guy who was running full bore. It tore his pecs off of the muscle, and he had to have the pecs reattached. But he still came back and played again. And he's a very tough guy. And many of those things, I think, people who've been to them before remember the Abdu speeches. I'm sure Frank has to live up to his son now in terms of quality of presentation.
Yeah, Frank's son Justin was in our very first induction class in 2015. So it's kind of nice that we've had a couple of father and son combos inducted over the years. We've had multiple guys that have been inducted kind of twice, once as part of a team, once as an individual. And it's pretty neat. One more word on Levi. His picture, when you go up and, of course, look at the Wall of Fame, he's holding up the Grey Cup. He was a member of that 2013 Grey Cup winning team for the Riders, and I was there, and it was fun.
Yeah, for sure. And finally, the 2022, which has just been decided, and we're announcing today, as you watch. People will just know first time that they'll know these names. So 2022, what do we got? Three.
We've got three inductees for 2022. First one I'll talk about is John Graham. No relation, by the way, just to make that clear. John was born in Moose Jaw. He was a rotary track guy. And he moved with his family to Calgary in 1980, competed with the Calgary Spartans. And he, in 1985, he won the 300, 600, 4x2, 4x4 at the Canada West and the national championships. He was athlete of the meet, and he did the same thing in 1989. So incredibly, 4 years later. He was on the national track team from 1985 to 1991, competed at the Seoul Olympics, and also won medals at the Commonwealth and Pan American Games. Set numerous Canadian records, 11 national championships during his career. Then in 1988, he also joined the Canadian bobsled team. It was a brakeman on their team. He was one of three Canadians to compete in both the Summer and Winter Olympics in the same year. So that is an incredible feat. He's also been inducted to other sports halls of fame, including the Calgary Spartans Track and Field Hall of Fame. So that's John Graham, an incredible track and bobsled athlete, multiple Olympics in two different sports, which is just crazy. Next one I'll talk about is Rocky Nichol, a builder in baseball. Now, Rocky was born in Viking, Alberta, moved to Moose Jaw in 1967. Remember that date; it's going to be important. Played high school football here, competed for 15 years with the Roletta Lakers in baseball. Started coaching minor football and baseball in the 70s. Took a Little League team, which we just had a Moose Jaw team go to the national championships here. And his team in 1972 that he coached won the national medal, won the silver medal at the national championships for Little League. And then Rocky was a lifelong referee. He refereed junior hockey for 4 years and minor hockey for 15. And then he was a baseball, volleyball, and basketball official. He's umpired over 30 years. He's a 5A umpire in the national for baseball at the national level. That is the highest level you can get as a baseball umpire.
Yeah.
And he continued to referee at the A provincial level in basketball and volleyball. As administrator, he was a provincial clinician. He was on the provincial volleyball committee for a number of years, 30 years on the Saskatchewan Baseball Association, standardized training, umpire recruitment, mentorship programs, and he's won numerous awards for his involvement in baseball over the years. Just a lifelong give back to the sport. And our final inductee, I remember that date when Rocky came to Moose Jaw. I just noticed this, that Ned Andreoni, we were inducting him as a builder and an athlete. He also came to Moose Jaw in 1967 and stayed. He came to play for the local Regals baseball team. He came from Fresno State University, came up to Canada to play here. He was instant success. He had a .337 batting average, the home runs, stolen bases, did it all. Ended up coaching. He had a 13-year career with the Regals, and they won 5 league titles during that time. After his baseball career, he kind of gave back, and he was a clinician and an instructor, and several of the people that he helped mentor in baseball ended up being inducted into the Saskatchewan Sports Hall of Fame. So that's pretty nice as well. And after he finished playing baseball, he went to the Memorial League Fastball League and played there for many years and was an all-star shortstop. Ned also, of course, is best known, I think, in the city for his longtime coaching career at Vanier Collegiate, 37 years at Vanier. I think if there was a sport at Vanier, my memory is I think Ned coached it, and he spent a lot of years at Vanier. And after his retirement in 2006, they named the gym after him. So that's quite an honor for. Three very worthy inductees.
And it all takes place on October the
1st at the Moose Jaw Event Center. Yeah.
and it'll be tickets are available now, and $60 a piece. It's going to be evening entertainment and fun. And Larry, I want to say thanks to you for coming on and getting us caught up on 3 years worth of stuff. And I'm sure that we're going to have a good night October 1st. So check in and sign up and join us that night. Thanks to you for being here, and thanks to our guests for our guests. Thanks to our guests, and thanks to you for watching. We'll see you again soon on Moose Jaw this week.